Hey guys, welcome back to another anime type video. We're going to be talking about anime per usual. I mean, what else do we talk about here besides anime and gaming? We're going to be talking about the summer releases, the new stuff that just came out. It's about 4 or 5 episodes in, depending on where it is. There's one show that's actually behind. They had a delay or whatever, but still, all of the good stuff. There are some honorable mentions, but we're not going to get into those. Just the stuff I've been watching with my wife that I think stands out above the rest that's been released. And, there's some slop that's been dropped, per usual. There's always the 1,000-year-old slug who got reincarnated as a doctor or something stupid, right? There's always something stupid released. And there's like some mid-grade stuff, like there was the Ugly Mug Epic Fighter, which was released, which isn't terrible, but it's so generic it could have been written by AI. Just this guy goes into this world and puts all of his points into fighting instead of looks, and he's super ugly. It's generic, you know what I mean? It's not good. It's not bad, but it's not good. And then there is the top tier, the stuff that came out with an absolute bang, the stuff that's been shown anime that it can still be good. And yeah, I'm just impressed by some of these shows, especially the second one I'll mention on this list, because I haven't seen a single hint of CGI so far this season. And even some of these other top tier ones, they're mixing it in. You know what I mean? It's not majority CGI, but then it'll be like a flash scene where it is CGI, and it just throws the entire aesthetic off, and it can ruin the moment, especially in the middle of a fight when all of a sudden one of the characters is CGI out of nowhere. But we're just going to hop straight into it. So the first anime we're going to talk about is the new Saga. It's not the new Saga, it's just new Saga, but for the sake of contents, it's the new Saga, right? And it has kind of like a generic feel to it. It's a fantasy anime. It's set with the Demon King and all that nonsense, the typical fantasy troll BS, right? But this one, I will say right off the bat, hooked me in with the action. Didn't see any CGI so far in this. And then it immediately switches things up with a time traveling aspect. After the main character kills the demon lord, and this isn't a spoiler, this is the first episode, okay? This isn't like anime stuff here, we're 4 episodes in. Kills the demon lord, he's sent back 3 years before the war ever happened. And, he's happy about it because he lost everything he had during the war. Everybody he loved, his family, friends, and then the people along the way that went with him to kill the demon lord, right? So it's a little different. It shows the end of a journey and then immediately throws you right back in the beginning, trying to stop the journey from happening the way it did in the first place. It's very interesting. The action is decent. I'm not going to say it's, anything over the top. The animation is decent. The story is decent. It's all around a good anime that you can sit down and watch through and not feel like you're watching the exact same slop being turned out again. I'd give it a 7.5. Nothing too nuts. It's even a 7, even 7 to 7.5. Nothing too crazy. It's not top tier, but it's definitely not bad, and it's worth a watch. Number 2 is I think going to be one of my favorites, if not favorite, for this summer release. It's Clevatess. It's kind of the same thing, right? It shows you the hero at the end of their journey, right? They are going to fight what is called dark beasts in this universe. And it's a group of heroes. They're on their way to fight this dark beast, and they get massacred. And it's awesome. The scene itself is awesome. It's super brutal. It doesn't hold back at all. If you're squeamish, don't watch it, because I know some people are like, oh, it's anime, blood, whatever. Some people cannot stand anime blood either. They just can't. I know somebody myself that's like, won't watch any anime with blood in it. This one's got a lot of it, and it was brutal. And then the Dark Beast, who kills this hero, the main character, resurrects her to be basically one of his minions to take care of this child that was given to him after he went and destroyed the capital of the country that sent the hero in the first place. From start to finish of the first episode, pops off with 45-minute episode right off rip. It was good. It had me captivated. The action was fantastic. No CGI anywhere in sight. it was good. It was really good. If you're into brutal, dark, kind of gritty animes, this is definitely for you. And I will give this one a solid 8.5. I'd go 9, but again, we're not deep enough into the series. It could take a crazy turn. Because I don't know if anybody's ever seen Failure Frame. The first episode was fantastic. The animation was really good, and then every episode after that, they added more and more CGI, and it got worse and worse and worse. So, as of right now, I'm going to give it an 8.5. If it stays on this same track with the good story and the animation, easily a 9. This is the other heavy hitter of this season, number 3 on the list. And these aren't in order of how I ranked them. This is just how I wrote the list out. Is Gachiakuta, or Gachiakuta. So, pronunciations are my, isn't my top tier skill here, okay? But super solid, super solid. Basically, there's this. It's very post-apocalyptic, dystopian future type setting, right? There's this thing called the sphere, which is just this moving island or floating island. It hasn't really been specified yet exactly how it gets around, but the island moves. And half of it is full of these, elite type people. They wear white clothes, their city is white, everything is white and gold and pretty and pristine, and dirt is nowhere to be seen. And then the other side is the slums. And criminals that are found in the slums, because none of these elite people are going to be criminals. They even, from what's been shown, it would seem like even if the elite did something wrong, they'd find a way to pin it on one of the slum people. They are thrown off of the island into the abyss, and the abyss is where all the trash from both places go, and it's just all blackness down there. And they throw our main character off after he was framed for a crime he didn't commit into the abyss, and he survives the fall. And on the bottom, as you can probably guess, is just covered in trash, waste, the air is toxic, so on and so forth. And it turns out he has the powers of what is called a giver. And that's because things that are cared for and loved have a soul because of those feelings. So he has cared for and loved for these gloves that were given to him by his dad, which allow him to imbue power into anything he touches. And then in that world down below, it's the exact opposite, right? Animosity creates these things called junk monsters. And they're literally just monsters made out of trash. It's so unique of a concept off rip that it automatically jumps to a 9 for me, just because with all of this fantasy slop that comes out every single year, all this rerun junk of, I have a ghost demon inside of me and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's all the same, right? Even JJK, as much as I love JJK, the actual concept itself is not original in any kind of way. This has such a unique premise on, from this world that throws away everything to this kid who cares for something, and now he has powers from it. And then the things that are thrown away become monsters. And it's so dystopian, it's so original, and it's in how it is, and the animation is fantastic. I haven't seen much CGI. There was a little bit of it in the Trash Monsters, but not in the cheap, crappy kind of anime way, where it's like this monster is made out of CGI and it literally looks like a plastic toy. It looked almost like just to add highlights to the trash, because you have all this trash in there, and it would just be really hard to animate and make it look 3D almost. It could have been, the entire thing could have been CGI, and I wouldn't know because they did such a fantastic job when it comes to the junk monsters and stuff. So overall, yeah, I give it a 9. It was really good. For only 3 episodes in, and I'm hooked. I can't wait for the next episode. It has comedy elements in it, even though the theme is so serious and gritty. They've just done a great job with it. Number 4 on our list is Apocalypse Bringer Minagra. I can't pronounce it. Just Apocalypse Bringer. If you look that up, you'll find it. Basically, it's very Overlord aspect-ish. This guy like has always played the evil civilization in a game. Like every time he's played like a civilization game, like the Kingdom games that you see ads for all the time. Like I can't even remember the name of that one that has all those crappy ads. But it's like he plays a civilization games. He always plays as an evil kingdom, and then he ends up being warped into that kingdom. And he keeps being the evil lord, even though he keeps saying he doesn't like conflict. So he's not evil as in the sense of the overlord evil, where he's just like, I don't really care about humans. Let's kill him. It seems okay. The animation so far has been good. There's been a few CGI monstery moments in it that has brought it down a little bit for it. From what I've talked to a few people who've read the manga, they've said it just builds and builds and builds, and it's going to get better and better. It seems like it's setting up a lot of cool things, like these good kingdoms that are slowly starting to go investigate his dark kingdom because it's the middle of the Death Forest. It's definitely a slow burn, but it seems like it's going to be worth the watch overall. So yeah, just think of kind of like Overlord, except a little less evil on the main character's part, because he's still a human, right? Oh, and everybody sees him as literally like a dark god. Like they can't perceive him as a human. Like, you're looking at me right now, I'm human, right? But to everybody else, he's just this black figure with these big ass white eyes, and he just looks terrifying, right? Drink break. Okay, and then we move on to number 5, which is Tougen Anaki. And this one is very reminiscent. I don't know if you're here, if you're an older anime fan, you might remember the canceled series Dead Man's Wonderland, which is basically all these people have the ability to create weapons and stuff out of blood. This is very, very reminiscent of that. So basically, in this world, in Japan, couple K years ago, the Onis, which are basically like these Oni and is technically a spirit, right? But in this, it's just these humanoid beings that control blood, and they can go berserk and lose control of their blood, and it takes over them, and they look like demons, right? So in this world, it's this, it's a couple thousand years have passed, the same bloodline that was from a part of the original warriors who fought the Onis are still fighting them, and then this kid was saved, and he himself is an Oni, was saved by one of those ex-Oni killers, and he was raised by this ex-Oni killer. And yeah, you know how it is in anime. Dads don't last. It causes the kid to get his powers, and then he gets kidnapped, technically, by a group of Oni who teach young Oni how to control their powers and fight back against this bloodline, because they're not all evil, right? They just can't, if they can't control their powers, they go berserk and hurt people. They don't deserve to die for that, for that specifically. So yeah, it seems pretty good. The main character, he was obsessed with the guns, so he's been making guns out of his blood, and it seems like the powers of your blood tie to your personality and things that have happened to you. So like there's this, not to spoil, but there was this, spoiler if you don't want it, small. There was this kid who clearly was, tortured a lot and cut open and stuff, so his blood power was he popped chainsaws and blades out of his body, right? So you could tell that a trauma led to him having that ability. I'm not going to give away much for it because not much has happened yet. Clevatess has been moving quick. Apocalypse Bringer's been slow burning. This one seems kind of slow burny too. Which isn't a bad thing, It's always good to see a new gen not want to be over in 12 episodes, right? I would give that one... Oh, I never gave Apocalypse Spring a rating. I'd give that one a 7.5. Until we see more. Could jump. And then I'd give this one, if it would tone down the CGI a little bit, I'd give it an 8.5, but I will give Tougen Anaki an 8. The Water Magician is number 6, and it's good. It's got this problem that a lot of animes are having nowadays that don't I feel like don't know if they're going to get a second season, right? Um, it wants to do the slow burn, and then everything kind of happens all at once at the end, so you don't know the direction it's going with. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know where this is going. You know it's going somewhere, but you don't know where it's going now. And my biggest problem with it so far is that we're 4 episodes in, and I'm not sure the direction it's trying to go. So we're just following this guy who is reincarnated into a new world because he was killed by a god accidentally, right? Story we've heard a million times. But it seems much more like a slice of life type anime. Like, yes, there is action, and there's really good action. So far, the action in the anime is one of the top things it's got going for it. And the art style is really cool, too. It has these moments where it almost turns into a canvas. Very cool. So it's following him, right? He's going into this world, he's going for a slow life, and then he saves this guy's life, who then wants to repay him, but also needs to get back to his town. So the main character escorts him through this very dangerous place. He's been practicing for months with his magic and all this kind of stuff, and he can do things normal humans can't do, and they get to the town, and then it seems like this is where stuff is going to start going down, but again, I don't know what direction it's going to go in. I don't know what direction it's trying to go in, so we'll see. I think that's one of the stronger things about animes like Clevatess and Gachiakuta and, the new Saga and Tougen and Anki is that you're 1-2 episodes in and you can tell where your plot is pushing to. Even if it's 3 or 4 seasons away, you know where your plot is headed toward. And it's a lot easier to get behind the main character because you know where they're headed. Even with Demon Slayer, right? We're like, what? On the 4th season, and there's like 4 more movies coming out. We knew episode 1 what his goal and motivations were. And that was to save his sister and kill Muzan. With animes like The Water Magician, you're 4 episodes in and you're just like, we're in a town, you're an adventurer, what's going on? If it's a slice of life route, then that's the goal. You know what I mean? Just living a slow life, chilling out, blah, blah, blah. But I don't want it to be another anime that, we're episode 11 and that's when shit hits the fan and then everything goes crazy and we gotta solve this plot line in 1 or 2 episodes, right? But other than that, the animation, the fights, all those things have kept it up. I just wish the story building, like of the actual plot, was a little bit thicker. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 as well. Definitely worth the watch, though. And then we have Lord of the Mysteries. I'm not going to speak on this one. I'm just recommending this to you from everything I've heard about it, clips I've seen, and friends that have been nonstop bragging on this. So we will watch this one together. Me and you right here. Me and you right here. We'll watch this one together. We'll come back. We'll talk about it. Talk about how good it was or bad it was. And we'll go from there. So please, if you haven't seen Lord of the Mysteries, or I thought it was just Lord of Mysteries. Let me double check this title. I thought that's what it was called. No? Is that not what it's called? Yeah, just Lord of Mysteries. But I keep saying Lord of the Mysteries. Lord of Mysteries. Okay? Apparently it's so good. Like I said in the beginning, I have a friend who's watched it multiple times. So it's probably pretty good, saying it's not even finished yet, and he's just been rewatching it. So I'm going to check that one out this weekend. I'll let you guys know what I think of it. From just a brief description, just to give you one, it's I just pulled this from online, right? Part steampunk, part Lovecraft, which is really good for me. I love anything Lovecraftian. All mystery, a guy drinks weird potion and suddenly sees into a world of hidden gods, secret cults, eldritch powers. It's slow, cerebral, but super rewarding if you are deep into world building. So there you go. If that sounds like something you're interested in, check it out, because I'm fucking interested in it. I'm going to check it out. We're going to check it out together. Those are kind of all the animes. I don't really have anything. I'm checking my list right now. I don't really have anything else to talk to you guys about. I guess one thing I could add, for something I just watched recently, and if you haven't watched it, I would go watch it. This is an older anime. It's called The Elusive Samurai. 12 episodes, but great. It was so great. The animation was like an art. Every action had this metaphorical art behind it, right? Like this guy is looking for the elusive samurai who's just this kid, and it shows his hands like grasping around him, but he's not anywhere near him. It's just showing like how he's almost on top of him. He could get him if he wanted to, but he hasn't yet, right? And then it pans over and zooms into his ears about like, and then it enters his ear and it shows like his ears having teeth, like showing like the second he hears him, he's caught in his jaw. You know what I mean? So good. Like the metaphorical, like, or however you call it, symbolic art that was in that anime was so beautiful, and I cannot wait for season 2. If you haven't seen it yet, even though it's an older one, not older one, 2021, not super old, but older, it's 2025. If you're into kind of artsy, still good, still action-packed animes, definitely check out The Elusive Samurai. That was the latest on my trying to catch up on anime I've been wanting to watch list, and it was really good. Yeah, I don't really have anything else for you guys. If you want to check all this out, if you care about my reviews, I would check out this list. All of these are on Crunchyroll, including The Elusive Samurai, so if you don't have a Crunchyroll account, get one. You're missing out. And yeah, I won't keep you guys for too long. If you guys like the content, remember to like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.